Hi, it's Dick Smith here, and I thought I'd tell you why I'm supporting Will Burke and Sustainable Population Party. I'm standing here outside the first house I ever bought in my life with Pip. It cost $32,000. That was in 1970, Wisdom Road, Greenwich. Look at the beautiful jacarandas and the trees and the backyards and everything there. Now, just about every politician spruiks growth the whole time. They tell you, how can we cope with the growth? They don't actually say we don't need the growth, and that's the difference between Sustainable Population Party. And the reason I'd like you to vote for the party is not to change the government. I want to give our Prime Minister a go and see how he goes, but I'd love to give politicians a message that we're not all stupid. We know that perpetual growth's impossible. When Kevin Rudd was talking about 36 or 40 million big Australia, that's not the problem. It's when it gets to 80, 100, 200, 300 million. If you always have growth. And I have no doubt we can keep Australia about the same if we stabilise at about 26 million. All of these houses with backyards where our kids can play, you can have a swimming pool, can stay. Otherwise, they'll all be ripped down one at a time and the high-rise will go up. High-rise will go initially to 5 or 6 stories, and then, of course, because you've got to double the population once again, they'll have to go to 20 stories. I've just heard that North Sydney Boys High they're now planning to keep it a selective school but to go high-rise. My fantastic school, North Sydney Technical High, at the railway station North Sydney, it was pulled down and replaced with office buildings. We don't have to do this. We can have these beautiful houses with backyards. We don't have to turn North Sydney into Shanghai. We can keep it. And if we give this message to our politicians, can you imagine if we got a decent vote with people just saying, we don't want perpetual growth, that's impossible, that's ridiculous. We'd love to live in balance with our environment and live like we have, let's say, for the last 20 or 30 years. That's why I'm asking you to support it. Thank you. Let's look at the beautiful street again. That same house today would sell for between $2 and $3 million, and that means it's between 4 and 6 times less affordable for a young couple if you compare it with the average wage back when I bought the house originally with Pip. And they'll tell you, virtually the whole rest of the political system, is that if we have more and more people, we'll get better off. In fact, it's the opposite. You have more people, the house prices go up, it's more people to share the finite cake and everyone's worth less. And that's clear because look at the United States. In the 1950s, they were wealthy compared to us. Now they have over 50 million people on the minimum wage of about $8 an hour, which is less than half ours. Why is it such a low wage? Why hasn't it gone up for something like 25 years in real terms in the USA? It's because they have 330 million people to share the wealth. And even though the US is immensely wealthy, too many people, you don't get much. If we could get our population to stop at about 26 million, which we can easily do that, we can have an absolutely fantastic lifestyle for our kids and our grandchildren. Let's do it.
Spoken by Dick Smith and William Burke. Authorised by William Burke for the Sustainable Population Party, Sydney.